Good day, sir. I am Joey P. Ibonia Jr. and I am going to discuss in this blog the 5 story of Jose Rizal, such as the biographical sketches of him, and pragmatic education, and travels, frustrations, and disappointments, and unexiled life, and justice and death. In Philippine history, there is one individual who has been recognized not only in our nation but also in various countries around the world. In Philippine history, Jose Rizal is considered a national hero because of what he wrote and did in the Philippines' previous history. I use the mirroring method to reflect on myself as an experienced person, and then I mirrored on his biographical sketches, which included how he began his life as an ordinary person. He managed to incorporate between academics and household responsibilities between his pursuits. Jose Rizal's biographical sketches shows us how he dealt with obstacles when he was young and during his studies in many schools, and how education may provide the knowledge that we require in our everyday life. So, life is short. If an opportunity represents itself, we should embrace it and work extremely hard to attain our aspirations in life. Even it is difficult to believe, we are now great learners, gaining new abilities and knowledge which we can use to help ourselves and to others. And in the pragmatic education of Jose Rizal, Jose Rizal was born into a wealthy family that belonged to the rich people, which, considering him a fortunate man, he was able to fulfill his goal because of his family's ability to put him in schools that enabled him to acquire knowledge further. And as I reflect to this story of Rizal to myself, and with the support of my family, I could become academically successful and make my parents proud. Every day, our parents were working continuously to fulfill our desires and develop ourselves into the greatest aspects of ourselves. Our beloved family go above and above to ensure that we already have the finest education possible, much like Rizal's parents did, who each took turns improving things. I came to the realization that life truly does provide its own strategies of slowing kindness of such an individual whose path it must to protect and care for. And in travels, frustrations, and disappointments, and Dr. Jose Rizal experienced a lot of failures, experiences, and challenges during his life. He remained nice and continued to assist his Filipino people. He suffered several threats on his life as a result of his generosity. He rarely backed away from taking action against the cardinals who at the time were in charge of the nation. When Jose Rizal was fighting the rights of the Filipinos, the cardinals were powerful because they have the power to control the officials. And the administration lacked honesty, morality, and concern in the people it was entrusted with governing. However, if the administration policies are bad, as a citizen for that time, I will still fight back for my rights as a Filipino citizen who has the right to speak when necessary, even if it means opposing the government's bad policies period. If I were in that period, we as a people in the Philippines have the right to stand up and express what we see to be unfair treatment of all the under Jose Rizal's reign. In the inside life of Jose Rizal, Jose Rizal's life story shows us that whatever the failures and challenges we are now facing in life, we must continue and get through the rest of the way. He was able to manage his life by using his experiences, participating in work and school, while simultaneously leading an exiled existence. As a result of becoming exiled, many people might worry, depression, or give us hope for any kind of success in their life. But he stayed to defend his nation. He cared about people while being exiled into a past era of his time. Filipinos should be inspired by Jose Rizal's journey because it shows us that whatever the failures and challenges we are now facing in life, we must continue and get through the rest of the way. His story inspires us to put in extra effort and be dedicated, which is something most of us possess. By reading his story, I was able to relate his experience to my own by working and taking care of my family. When my father passed away, even it was difficult since I had no other option but to support my family. At the same time, he was a person who cared about people while being exiled into a past era of his time. Jose Rizal imparted knowledge on how to form an economic cooperation with the disadvantaged residents of Mindanao also, in order for them to become independently free themselves from the Chinese people and consequently be better victimized by teaching them how to do so even though they were living in an exiled life. Injustice and Death. The story of Jose Rizal's Justice and Death is one that has left a lasting impact on generations of Filipinos. He was an accomplished poet and a writer who used his talents to spread the message of freedom and democracy. His writings and activities led to his arrest and eventual execution by a firing squad in 1896. His death became a rallying cry for Filipino independence and was a major catalyst in the struggle for freedom. His story speaks to the power of justice and importance of holding an oppressive regime accountable for its actions. His courage and commitment to justice have been a source of strength, and his legacy lives on through his writings and example, he said. Rizal's Justice and Death story has been an inspiration to many, including myself.